We're always told that communication is the key to everything, right? That to fix a problem, you just have to talk it out, explain your side, and fight for the relationship. But today, we're going to explore a really powerful and honestly a kind of terrifying counter strategy. It's for those times when communication isn't a bridge, it's a weapon being used against you. And it all starts when you're forced to ask yourself one simple but absolutely devastating question. It really all boils down to this. This is the moment the whole game changes. The moment you realize, wait a minute, this isn't a misunderstanding. They get it. They actually get it. The problem is a fundamental lack of care. And that realization, that's the starting point for everything we're about to get into. And this leads to this huge conflict in how we even see this action. On one side, society slaps all these negative labels on it. You're ghosting, you're a coward, you're just avoiding your problems. But then, psychology comes in and frames it completely differently. It's not about avoidance, it's about self-preservation. It's not a sign of weakness, it's the final, ultimate boundary. We call it a quiet exit. So, to really get a handle on the power of silence, we first have to talk about the problem. We're calling this section the trap of noise, because in these toxic dynamics, your words stop being tools for connection. They actually become their weapons. Let's break down why the more you try to talk, the worse things seem to get. The key concept you have to understand here is something called emotional supply. See, manipulative people don't really run on logic or a desire for mutual understanding. They run on a need for reaction. They need your energy, whether it's good or bad, to feel important, to feel like they even exist. Now, this is what's so wild, and it's how our natural responses get completely flipped on their head. You think you're fighting back, but every single one of these reactions is just fuel for their fire. Your anger? That doesn't scare them. It's like a trophy that proves they matter. Your long, detailed explanations? That's not for clarity. Oh no, that's a script they're going to use against you later. You're basically playing a role in a drama they've written and you're handing them their lines. And this brings us to what might be the hardest truth to accept in all of this. The belief that you just need to find the right words or explain it a different way, that's the trap. The truth is, they've understood you all along. The lack of change isn't a failure of your communication, it's their choice. Which leads us to the critical question, right? If all your noise is their food, what happens when the buffet closes down for good? Well, the answer to that question is what we call the unthinkable solution. It's the one strategy that feels so counterintuitive, so against everything we're taught, but it is profoundly effective. It's the quiet exit. So let's be super clear about what this actually means in practice. This is not a dramatic storming out. It's the complete, total end of engagement. No last text, no final one more thing argument, just silence. It's the ultimate boundary because it's the one they literally cannot cross. Your absence becomes a wall we just can't climb. And let's be real, this is not easy. Every instinct, every social rule we've learned is screaming at you to explain yourself, to get the last word in, to make them see. Resisting that urge takes an incredible amount of strength. It feels like you're letting them win, but as we're about to see, what you're actually doing is changing the entire game. So what is actually happening here on a psychological level? Let's dive into the power of the vacuum you create and really understand why your silence is so uniquely devastating to a manipulative person. Think about it. For years, maybe, they have used your predictable reactions to regulate their own chaotic inner world. You were the stable, predictable part of their unstable equation. When you just disappear without a word, you create a vacuum. You take away the very thing they were using to prop themselves up, all at once. This slide just illustrates the strategic advantage so brilliantly. If you leave with a big, noisy fight, you basically hand them their narrative on a silver platter. They can run around telling everyone how unstable and crazy you are, but if you leave quietly, they've got nothing, no story to tell. That ambiguity is terrifying for them. Are you devastated? Are you thriving? Indifference is their absolute greatest fear, and your silence leaves that possibility wide, wide open. They lose control of the story. And ultimately, this is the masterstroke. Without you there to blame or to provoke or to distract from their own issues, the mirror finally turns inward on them. And for someone who has built their entire identity around getting reactions from the outside world, that is a reflection they simply cannot stand to look at. Okay, so we've talked about what's happening with them. They're in chaos. But now we have to talk about you. Because while they're spiraling, you are fighting your own very different kind of battle. This part of the process is all about managing your own internal world. You are absolutely going to feel these things. That overwhelming pull to explain yourself just one last time. That feeling that you need them to finally admit what they did. And of course, the guilt that's been programmed into you, that you gave up or that you're being cold-hearted. It's so important to recognize these voices for what they are. They're just echoes of the old dynamic. They are not your authentic voice whispering enough. This right here, this is the mantra you have to hold on to. The closure that you're looking for will never, ever come from them. You have to be the one to give it to yourself by validating your own reality. You do not need their sign-off to save your own life. Okay, so you've left. You're navigating that internal battle, but the game isn't quite over yet. Now we enter the aftermath. This is a critical phase where your silence becomes your shield, and you have to learn to completely redefine what winning actually means. You have to be prepared for this. It's called an extinction burst. It's a totally predictable psychological phenomenon. Think of it like a vending machine. If you stop putting money in, you don't just walk away, you push the button a few more times, maybe even shake the machine, right? When their source of supply is cut off, they don't just give up, they escalate, trying anything and everything to get that reaction they are starving for. And this is what it looks like. First, there's panic. They realize, oh, this is real. This isn't just a tactic. Then comes the escalation. They will try all the old tricks, sudden apologies, love bombing, maybe even threats. But the most crucial part is step 3. You have to see this escalation not as a reason to engage, but as definitive proof that what you are doing is working perfectly. So think of it this way. You've walked away from the battle, and your silence is now the shield that is protecting your newfound peace. Every text you don't answer, every call you don't pick up, that isn't an act of avoidance. It's an act of reinforcement. You're making that shield stronger. And this really is the core takeaway of this entire idea. True power isn't about getting the last word or proving them wrong. It's about recognizing the game is rigged and having the strength to simply walk off the field. You don't win by out-arguing them. You win by refusing to play their game at all. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. For anyone who has been through this, there's almost always a specific moment, a specific comment, a specific look in their eye, where the futility of it all just became crystal clear. What was that moment for you? Because recognizing that moment is the first real step in taking your power back. Protect your peace.